Quarter line, Josh Rickett, Ash Gibson, Ross Oakes and Ethan Ryan. In the halves, Brandon Pickersgill and Dade Chisholm. The front row forwards, Liam Kirk, Vila Halafihi, Ross Peltier. The back row forwards, Matt Garside, Liam Johnson and Mikey Wood. And on the interchange for John Keir's side this afternoon, Steve Crossley, Elliot Mitchella, George Flanagan, and making his debut wearing number 34, Jordan Andrade. For Gary Thornton's Hunslet Hawks side, James Watson at fullback. Wing three-quarter line, Jordan Gill, Joel Gibson, who scored a try at Hudsall 8 days ago, Will Cook and Niall Walker. The halves, Joe Sanderson and Kane Southernwood, of course, formerly of the Bradford Bulls Academy. And the forwards, Michael Haley, Jack Lee the skipper, Lewis Reid of the Bradford Bulls Academy, Jack Walton, Josh Jordan Roberts and Jack Blackborough. The halves, new signing, Daniel Halmshaw, Matt Nicholson, Jack Coventry and Jake Barnett on the interchange for Hunslet this afternoon. And the referee will be Nick Woodward, the same referee who was at Hudsall on Good Friday and presided over Bradford's 30 points to 12 victory over Scott Naylor's Oldham side. As we said, it is the Ladbrokes Challenge Cup. The game is taking place, Bulls Live, proper sport. Cade Southernwood to get proceedings underway, and we're up and ready. We might need a lifeguard at times, such is the nature of the pitch, but Liam Kirk will take tackle number 1, 10 out from his own try line, and it's going to be Ricketts, calm, cool and collected for his first carry. 2 tackles gone. Bradford find themselves 15 out from their own try line. Halafihi in at dummy half to Peltier. Conditions, as we said, they're going to play a huge part in proceedings this afternoon, and Peltier immediately goes down in the mud. 30 out from his own line. Chisholm along the line, and Bradford looking to give the ball some air to Garside. Garside brought down 10 shy of halfway on the 4th. It goes from Chisholm to Mikey Wood. Mikey Wood, the Huddersfield loanee, playing loose forward this afternoon, and that will be the 5th and last tackle. Bradford still in centre field, 10 shy of halfway. It goes from Halafihi to Chisholm. Chisholm looking for a 40-20, and he's going to get it because James Watson took the ball on his own touchline, and it's scrum, head and feet to the Bradford Bulls. We've only had 70 seconds gone. Good afternoon, John Keys. Perfect start from the Bulls.
Absolutely great there, great kick from Dane. Good to see some fresh faces today. I'm not sure how many sharks are going to come out of the water here, but hopefully Bradford are going to take this game home. But a really good start from the boys.
Bradford will have the scrum 10 metres out from the Hunslet try line. When they met at Hudsall 8 days ago, Bradford ended Hunslet's 8-game winning streak, 32 points to 12, and a chance early doors here for the Bulls to get the Challenge Cup account up and running. Round 4, Halafihi out of dummy half to Kirk. Kirk ponders, looks for options. Immediately smothered by the white shirts of the Hunslet defenders. 5 out from the Bradford line. It goes from Halafihi to Wood. Wood's held up in the tackle by Lee and Reid. Quick play the ball from Wood. Halafihi to Chisholm. Chisholm to Garside. Garside, can he get the ball down? Yes, he can. The Bulls take the lead. 2 minutes, 12 seconds on the clock, and it's Hunslet 0, Bradford Bulls 4.
Great start there for the Bulls. Really pleased for Matty. He's been playing well this season. Been a great Vila Halafihi. Scanning and having a look around him what's on. Hit the ball out the back there and a great pass, and Garside glided over.
Just bringing Stephen Price. Steve, not the start that Hunslet would have wanted. A mistake from the kick from Dade Chisholm by fullback James Watson.
Yeah, I think put a lot of pressure on a lot of the team, especially with that scrum as well. But I think it's just early start as well. I think there's a lot more to come. Hopefully, get out of the way, restart the game again.
Bit of nerves, do you feel early doors?
Yeah, I think it was nervous for a lot of the Hunslet players, and I think the Bradford players just took the game and took it under control.
Dane Chisholm will attempt the conversion in the absence of Joe Keys. Joe Keys will get an update from John shortly, but he failed a head concussion test in the second half and that automatically ruled him out for 8 days. He hopes to be back for Workington Town at Derwent Park. Chisholm then, 15 metres to the left-hand side of the uprights from 20 metres out. He gets his account up and running, and it is Hunslet 0, Bradford Bulls 6. Just shy of 4 minutes gone. And John, just an update please on Joe Keys.
Yeah, mate, he was a bit groggy on Friday night and Saturday morning, but he's making a good recovery. He's here watching today, but hopefully he's just got to do his cog sport test and he should be back for next weekend.
Well, in the background, we've got the Heritage steam engine, and immediately on the restart, like a steam engine himself, is going to be Liam Kirk. Kirk takes Bradford 15 out from their own line. It goes down the middle with Peltier. Peltier brought down by Southernwood, and Haley in a 2-man tackle. Halafihi out of dummy half. He goes wide to Chisholm. Chisholm to Oakes. Oakes with a potential line break. Back on the inside to try scorer Matt Garside. And Garside takes the Bulls 10 shy of halfway. Here goes Halafihi. Difficult underfoot conditions. Just lost his foot in there, and he slides into a 2-man tackle by Lee and Haley just on the halfway line. 4th tackle gone for the Bulls, and they're just going to move it over the halfway line now. 5th and last. Wood gets to his feet. 5 inside the Hunslet half. Halafihi to Chisholm. Chisholm between winger Jordan Gill and fullback James Watson, and Chisholm just put a little bit too much on that, and that has gone dead in goal, and it will be a tap there for Jordan Gill on his own 20-metre line. Hunslet trailing 6 points to 0 as Watson goes out of dummy half. He's brought down 10 shy of the halfway line. Kirk and Johnson in that 2-man tackle. Lee to Sanderson. Sanderson to Walton. And Walton's brought down 2 metres shy of the halfway line, just inside his own half. They're now going to go over halfway with Lewis Reid, the former Bradford Bulls junior. Lee Beattie talking highly of Lewis Reid pre-game. 4th tackle gone here. It was, of course, the 7th tackle set after the ball went dead in goal, and Hunslet in centre field. 30 out from the Bradford line. On the last tackle now, it's going to go to Southernwood. Southernwood's going to put it to the sky. They're going to let this one bounce. Southernwood looks to get pressure from McNally. McNally's come up with the error there, and referee Nick Woodward gives head and feet to Hunslet. And that was difficult for Greg McNally. He was under a lot of pressure there from Kane Southernwood. And Stephen Hunslet with a chance here, 15 out from the Bradford line. 5 minutes gone. Hunslet 0, Bradford 6.
Yeah, I think now we're going to see what pressure Hunslet can put on to Bradford now. Just control the ball, play nice sets. It's not about scoring, it's just playing a set out.
From the scrum, it's going to go there from Lee. Lee on that left-hand edge, attacking the Bradford defence as Pickersgill comes in for his first tackle of the afternoon. It goes and go from Sanderson. Sanderson to Blackburn, the former Lee Centurion on loan here at Hunslet. And he's brought down 5 out from the Bradford line. It goes from Lee, Sanderson, bullet pass there to Reid, but Reid is wrapped up there by Ross Peltier. 3rd tackle gone. They're going on this main stand side with Southernwood. Southernwood to Walton. Walton twisting and turning. Can't reach out and score. He'll be brought down by Dane Chisholm. Although Hunslet now are potentially on the try line with Lewis Reid. Quick play the ball, but referee Nick Woodward says Lewis Reid is held up by Greg McNally. And Liam Kirk in a desperate 2-man tackle for John Keir's side. They're going to go back to the 10 on the 4th tackle. They're going to come back down this main stand side. The kick from Southernwood, read there like a book by Dane Chisholm, and Bradford have survived some early defensive pressure from the Hunslet side, and Gary Thornton might not be too pleased about that kick there from Southernwood. It let Bradford off the pressure, and Bradford now are just going to do those hard yards forward, just coming down the middle as it goes from Halafihi to Pickersgill. Pickersgill celebrated his 21st birthday last Thursday, and he's back in John Keir's first team thoughts this afternoon. Bradford on the last tackle, 20 shy of halfway, over on the far stand side. It's going to come back down centre field to Pickersgill, and Pickersgill, was he caught late? Referee Nick Woodward has to sort out a bit of a schmozzle. There's pushing and shoving off the ball. The touch judges come on. John Keys, what do you make of that one? I think it's a penalty to the Bulls.
I just think it was a late hit. I mean, the guy was committed, and obviously the conditions aren't helping today, but it was a very late hit, and I think he was sort of not far off being in mid-air after he kicked the ball, to be honest.
Referee Nick Woodward has given the penalty to the Bradford Bulls, 30 metres out from the Hunslet line. It's the first penalty of the afternoon, and John Keir has two fingers in the air below our commentary position. He says, Dane Chisholm, on will come the kicking tee, and you will take 2 points. We saw this on Good Friday, John. More evident this afternoon in filthy conditions. Points really are at a premium. It's all about coming here, doing the simple things, getting the job done, and being in the draw for the 5th round tie at Warrington.
Yeah, I think John's made no bones about it, has he, when he came in? If you look at what Batley did under John a couple of seasons ago, every opportunity to score, John took it. I mean, on the Friday night, I think that was the difference. The first half being 12 points up was actually the difference between the teams in the end. And I think it's the right thing to do, particularly today. It's not a great day for handling the football.
Dane Chisholm then, 20 metres out, it's a wobbler, but it creeps between the uprights. It's Hunslet 0, Bradford Bulls 8, 8.5 minutes gone on the clock. Steve Price, points at a premium. The last thing Hunslet wanted to do early doors is go 2 scores behind.
Yeah, that puts a lot more pressure on the team now, and I think Bradford are just playing the sets out, controlling the game and getting the points. They're looking more hungry at this minute at a time and not playing stupid as well. I think Hunslet have got to cut out the emotional part of the game and play rugby league.
Well, the rain has just held off at the moment. As I said, when you watch the game back on Bulls Live and Proper Sport, you'll just see just how difficult this game will be as we go into the second half. It will be attritional. Peltier on the restart takes the Bulls just outside their own 20. Halafian at dummy half to Garside. Garside, who opened the scoring for the Bulls in the 4th minute, is brought down 2 metres in from this main stand side, and it is another penalty to the Bradford Bulls because Hunslet have pushed in at the ruck, and referee Nick Woodward is saying no more. These penalties have to stop. So early penalty count going the way of the Bradford Bulls. 2-0 is the count, and Chisholm is going to have an option to find touch on this main stand side, and he's just going to find touch just shy of halfway. So Bulls Live, Proper Sport. Mikey Wood on tackle number 2. 35 out from the Hunslet line, centre of the field. Halafihi to Chisholm. Chisholm on the angle to Peltier. And Peltier's going to suck in that defence. Here comes the offload, and Halafihi's going to be brought down 2 metres shy of the Hunslet 20. Third tackle gone on this attacking set of 6 for the Bulls. McNally in at fullback. He's going to go to Mikey Wood. Mikey Wood takes it 15 shy, and that is tackle number 4. Bradford 15 out, centre of the field. Chisholm, crossfield kick, looking for Ethan Ryan. Ethan Ryan, the ball's being juggled backwards by the Hunslet man, and Dane Chisholm has got the Bulls a goal line dropout. Jordan Gill under a lot of pressure there, and young Ethan Ryan calling for the ball. It was a kick early in the count, and Stephen Hunslet have got a bit of defending to do.
I think they're under a lot of pressure at this moment in time. I think just got to control, go back to the start of the game, relax. I think there's a lot of pressure put on a lot of the players, which they're putting on themselves. Bradford are playing really well, controlling the ball, playing their sets out, really cooking forwards, playing well, taking the ball in. They're doing everything which they're expected to do.
Bradford 20 out from the Hunslet line. Their lead 8 points to 0. Halafihi to Peltier. Peltier down that right hand edge. Sucks in 3 defenders, and Hunslet bring down the wrecking ball 10 shy of the Hunslet line. It goes from Halafihi to Pickersgill. Pickersgill to Kirk. Kirk playing with a broken nose this afternoon. Is rolled over on the tackle number 4. 2 shy of the post. Chisholm looping pass to Ethan Ryan. It's a gift, and Ethan Ryan. Oh my word! What a try from Ethan Ryan! He scored one similar last year against Batley. He's done it again. Deja vu. Lightning strikes twice. 12-0 to the Bulls. I was going to say, is he a trapeze artist in a circus? John Keys.
Well, amazing. I thought Dane had picked the wrong pass there, but the ball floated over the Hunslet right winger. And what an amazing finish from Ethan. He must have dived from 4 yards out, managed to get the ball down. Fantastic. As you said, kept doing it last season, and to me, a real untapped talent, Ethan. And I think what's interesting is Bradford today just playing the conditions. We're charging up the middle then, but Dane's playing a bit. And hopefully as the game goes on, I think Brandon will do the same on the other side.
Scintillating rugby league from the Bradford Bulls. They lead Hunslet here this afternoon by 12 points to 0. That was a boomerang pass from in centre field from Dane Chisholm right out on this main stand touchline, and Ethan Ryan against fullback James Watson and winger Jordan Gill dived in, and the touch judge said it was good. Scintillating rugby league football of the Challenge Cup variety. It is Toulouse 6, Toronto Wolfpack 14 in Betfred Championship. Dane Chisholm then from the touchline. He's kicked it. It's a brilliant beauty. 14 points to 10. The Bulls lead. I hate to say it, Steve, it's going a little bit bad to worse for Gary Thornton's side.
Yeah, I think Bulls are on form, and not on form, they're on fire at this moment in time. I think that was just a fantastic try out wide. I think it was just a Super League standard as well. I think the supporters, everybody saw great pass, but a fantastic finish.
Ethan Ryan with his third try of 2018. 4 tries against Oldham last year, made his debut against London in 2016. And Ethan Ryan, what a find from the Bradford Bulls Academy. Although the Bulls have come up with an error, their first error, the second error of the afternoon, and Liam Kirk has come up with that one over on the far stand side on tackle number 2. So John, some defending now for the Bulls to do. 15 gone here, Hunslet 0, Bulls 14.
It is. I mean, Bradford have come out of the blocks here, haven't they? Hunslet gone into a 14-0 lead, and Hunslet need a bit of field position now, I think, and need to respect possession a little bit. But at the moment, it's been one-way traffic. Obviously, the conditions are making it very difficult, but Bradford seem to have come here with the job, to do a certain job.
From the scrum, Hunslet go down this right-hand edge. You're listening to myself, Mick Gledall, John Keys and Steve Price for Bulls Live and Proper Sports. Sanderson to the interchange forward. Josh Jordan Roberts, who's currently on loan from the Leeds Rhinos, had a spell at Odsall last year under Jeff Tuvey. Lewis Reed's dropped the ball in a heavy collision there from Ross Peltier, and it's the 0 tackle, the free play, and Greg McNally has taken the Bulls outside their own 20. Here goes Ashley Gibson, calming things down, an assured character, a lot of experience. Oldest player out there this afternoon for the Bulls. The absence of Lee Smith and Sam Hallas, both rested. Keys and Grant. That was an enforced change due to injury. Concussion for Keys, hamstring for Grant. Bradford, they're on the halfway line, centre of the field. Reed and Lee in a 2-man tackle. Halafihi goes to Peltier, and Peltier just slips in the mud and slides forward to the Hunslet 40. It goes from Halafihi to Chisholm. Chisholm is going to put Watson under pressure, and Watson takes it there in difficult conditions, and no sooner has he taken the ball, he is met there by the 2 red-shirted defensive efforts from Mikey Wood and Vila Halafihi, and Halafihi looking to really cement his place back in the side, comes in with a double tackle on this set of 6. Peltier and Johnson on the 3rd tackle. Hunslet suffocated. They're just inside their own 20. Out of dummy half, it's going to go from Hunslet skipper Jack Lee. Jack Lee's brought down just shy of the Hunslet 30. Centre of the field, 4th tackle gone. Kirk and Wood in defence there. They're going to kick early on the count from Southernwood, and Southernwood straight down the throat of Ethan Ryan, and Ethan Ryan's up and over halfway, and he's brought down 5 metres inside the Hunslet half. Tackle 1. Out of dummy half now from Ross Oakes, his first start of 2018, and he's wrapped up 30 out from the Hunslet line, just to the left of centre field. It goes from Halafihi, scoops it up in the mud to Peltier. And speaking to Ross Peltier before the game, and I think he was hoping that the game was called off. He doesn't want to be out there in the mud, but they're going to have to do it tough. Pickersgill on the run around. It's caught high by Jack Lee. It's a third penalty of the afternoon. It's gone the way of the Bradford Bulls. It's 3-0 now on the penalty count. 17 and a half minutes gone, and the kicking tee will come on once more. John Keir, those 2 fingers in the air, and Dane Chisholm will have an opportunity from 20 metres out to potentially add the extra 2 points. And the referee, Nick Woodward, just going to advance the Bulls forward a little bit more. He's saying the penalty mark, well no, he's saying it's on the 20. And John, what do you make of this Bradford blistering start, it must be said?
Absolutely come out of the blocks. What's interesting is if you go back to last season, we'd have played a game and made 4 changes, but we wouldn't have had the changes we've had today. I mean, we're playing with Sam and George at 9 in the league games. Vila stepped in and you wouldn't know it's any different, would you, today? And the same with the other blokes. Kirky played all last season. Great to see Oaksy back out there. I just think it shows the strength in depth that we've got this season. And like I said, absolutely come out of the blocks here on fire at the moment.
Dane Chisholm. 20 metres out, 15 to the right. In the rain, the mud, and he goes out to free from 4 attempts. It's gone across the face of the post, and the conversion, or should I say the penalty attempt, is missed, but Bradford will keep the ball because it will be a dropout on the 20 from Hunslet. Well, you talk about Oldham's defence going into that game on Good Friday. Well, just to have a look at the impact, what John Keir is currently having at the Bulls in 2018. After 5 games, the Bulls have conceded just 56 points. It's an average of 11. They conceded 32.5 a game in 2017 under Jeff Tuve. And on the points for, they've scored 232 in the 5 games, an average of 46. They were only scoring 25 under Jeff Tuve. So John Keir has had an instant impact at Odsall. Chisholm to Pickersgill. Out to Gibson. Gibson's brought down 25 shy of the Hunslet line. 5 in from the far stand side, with Bradford having a tackle remaining. It goes from Halafihi to Pickersgill, Pickersgill to Kirk, and Kirk is going to be brought down on tackle number 4 just outside the Hunslet 20. It now goes from Pickersgill, fast hands to Chisholm, Chisholm to Garside, forward pass, 3rd error of the afternoon from the Bulls. Then Chisholm holds his hand up, tries to calm things down a little bit. He apologises to Matt Garside, and the pressure is off momentarily. So 3 errors apiece from both sides, and we've just hit 20 minutes gone here at Hunslet. How do you reckon Gary Thornton will be thinking now, Steve, after conceding those early tries to Garside and Ryan and that Dane Chisholm penalty?
Well, I think Bradford just dropped the ball in. I think Bradford are playing really well at this moment in time, controlling the ball, playing their sets out. I think they're after playing really well, combining with the pack. But I think Hunslet are trying to force the game and do silly headers. But I think Gary will be probably upset. But it's down up to the players to come out second half and start from set 1 again and control the ball. But I think it's just silly headers and mistakes that Hunslet are doing. But I think Bradford are playing really well. And if they carry on this way, you never know, Bradford. I think it could be a 40, 50 points, realistically.
Big prediction there from former Hunslet player Steve Price. Hunslet coming up with their 4th error, and Bradford had the scrum, 15 out from the Hunslet line. Halafihi out of dummy half to Pickersgill, Pickersgill to Garside. Garside's brought down over on that right-hand edge by Will Cook and Niall Walker, and Garside turned in the tackle. Halafihi, bullet pass to Pickersgill. Pickersgill to Wood, and Wood is going to be brought down just outside the Hunslet 10. 5 metres to the right hand side of the uprights. It's the drizzle back here at Hunslet as it goes from Pickersgill to Peltier. Peltier already with a try in 2018. Last tackle, says referee Woodward. It goes out of dummy half. It goes to Chisholm. He peppers one in. Garside's chasing it, but James Watson on hand to alleviate and avert the danger, but the pressure will continue. It's another Bradford Bulls goal line dropout that they've forced. 22 minutes gone. Hunslet 0, Bulls 14. Proper Sport Bulls Live.
Yeah, Dane's really controlling the game, isn't he? But as we go off to Brandon on the other side of him, we've got just as much talent over that side. But Bradford are really containing Hunslet at the moment and forcing these errors, as Stephen was saying, and that's causing Hunslet lots of problems. So it'll be interesting to see what happens before half time now, for the future of the game.
17 minutes remaining. Points at a premium. Bradford were leading 14-0 inside as many minutes, but as always, the game has just calmed down now to a bit of a more pedestrian pace, and you can tell who's just come on the field. Matt Nicholson and Jack Coventry for Gary Thornton's side. They're almost like lighthouses, like beacons on a muddy field. Their white shirts blazing. So Bradford, after the goal line restart, they're on tackle number 4. 35 out from the Hunslet line as it goes from Pickersgill to Halafehi to Wood, and Wood is going to be brought down just shy of the 20 on the last. They're going to go back to Chisholm. 25 out, crossfield kick, once again looking for Ethan Ryan, palms it back on the inside to Oaks. Oaks to Garside, that's gone backwards, and it's a try-saving effort from Jordan Gill. The Bulls were hunting a third try. This is summer weather rugby league football, John.
It's amazing, a great passage of play there, but it's unbelievable in the conditions what Bradford are trying. But again, inches away there from getting our next try. Fantastic effort from Ethan, but really good for me was the support play. Ethan's gone up in the air. There are 2 blokes waiting for the ball to come down.
Steve Crossley will come on for Ross Peltier. Ethan Ryan comes up with the error from the restart. It has gone forward. Dane Chisholm goes down the main stand touch line, and the referee will give head and feed to Hunslet. So Bradford, their 4th error this afternoon. And it's got to be said, John, they've just took the foot off the gas there. A bit of lacking concentration from young Ethan Ryan. And a chance now for Hunslet. 5 shy of halfway.
Yeah, very much so, but also it's a lottery what's going to happen to the ball when it bounces in front of you. Unfortunately for him, it just didn't quite come off, but still really pleased with the start, and we just got to keep going. And as you said, these games always start off at a furious pace and then it calms down, so let's see what Hunslet can do now they've got the ball again.
Well, we don't even get to tackle number 1. Liam Johnson gone high with a lazy tackle. We had 24 penalties from referee Nick Woodward on Good Friday. We've only had 4 this afternoon. Hunslet's first penalty will see them 10 shy of the Bradford line. It's going to be tapped there by Sanderson. Sanderson to Nicholson. Nicholson with the grey scrum cap is brought down 5 shy of the Bradford line. The Hunslet supporters trying to give their side some encouragement. Out of dummy half from Lee. Lee's going to give it there to Hallamshaw, and Hallamshaw's going to be brought down just shy of the line. It goes to Southernwood. Southernwood brought down just shy. 2 tackles remaining here for Hunslet, and they're going to get back-to-back penalties. Jimmy Watson held in the tackle. 3-2 now the count. Still favouring the Bulls. And a bit of a false start there. Under starters orders now as referee Woodward says Matt Nicholson's tapped the ball in the correct place, and he's going to be brought down 5 out in front of the post. Quick play of the ball. It goes from Lee to Sanderson, and Sanderson twisting and turning the tackle is going to be brought down again 5 shy of the line. It goes from Southernwood to Blackburn, and Blackbur's going to be brought down 5 out. Good defence from the Bulls. Halafehi wrapping Blackburn up there. Out of dummy half, it's going to go from Hallamshaw. Hallamshaw pass taken well there by Niall Walker on that far stand side. 4th tackle gone. It's still Hunslet 0, Bulls 14 as it goes from Southernwood. Southernwood once again there to Will Crook. Last tackle. Gets to his feet. Sanderson peppers one behind the Bulls defensive line. It's a ping ball. It's a lottery, and the Bulls recover the ball. Greg McNally once again to the rescue. Hunslet 0, Bulls 14. 14 minutes to go to half time. If you're just joining us, first half tries from Matt Garside and Ethan Ryan. Chisholm 2 from 2 on the conversions, and he's also added a penalty, although he did miss one 6 minutes previously. Chisholm, ball in hand, 10 shy of halfway. He's going to kick early in the tackle count, finds space, and the Hunslet fullback, James Watson, traps the ball with his foot, picks it up with his right arm, tucks the ball in, prepares for impact, and he's brought down there by Johnson and Pickersgill in a two-man tackle. Pickersgill across the shoulder there of the winger on the far stand side, Niall Walker. 3 tackles gone. Bradford defending, showing a lot of resilience. As we said, very attritional out there. You don't see conditions like this that often. It's certainly a throwback to the winter era of the Stones Bidder Championship, as Hunslet have done well there on that left-hand edge. They're inside the Bradford half on the last tackle. They've made 55 metres. Out of dummy half, it's going to go from Hallamshaw, and Hallamshaw finds the support there of Walker, and Walker has kicked forward, and it has come off Josh Rickett on that far stand side. So Hunslet, Stephen, they're slowly growing into this game, and they're going to have a repeat set 20 metres out from the Bradford line.
Yeah, I think now we're going to see what Hunslet are capable of doing. I just think that Bradford now playing as a far better team than any team in this league. At this moment in time, they're looking like a championship team. And I just think they're really hungry. They're up for it. They want the game against Warrior, and it's all down to hunger and skill and speed and strength, which Bradford are playing with now.
Hunslet then with the chance over on this main stand side. They're brought down 20 metres out from the Bradford line. Daniel Hallamshaw, who had a spell on the Gold Coast, scoops it up, gives it there to Blackburn, and Blackbur's brought down 10 out there by Crossley and Halafehi. Hallamshaw to Sanderson, Sanderson to Watson. Watson's brought down 5 out, 5 in from the far stand side. They're going to have a bit of depth here as Joe Sanderson drops the shoulder but can't get past Crossley and Mikey Wood. Still 5 out, centre of the field. Can Kane Southernwood unlock the Bulls' defence? Southernwood twisted and turning, brought down by Chisenham Garside. Last tackle. Southernwood a metre shy of the line. It's going to go back to Sanderson. Sanderson straight there to Vila Halafehi, and Hunslet. It's a pinball, it's a lottery, it's a potential try to Hunslet. The referee though is going to stop the clock. The touch judge comes on with the Hunslet kick chasers onside. It's Hunslet 0, Bradford 14. The touch judge says it's good. The referee disagrees. He disallows the try, and the decision is going to be penalty to the Bulls for Hunslet being inside the 10. Penalty count 4-2. A huge decision in this game, John. And Hunslet skipper Jack Lee just arguing with referee. Nick Woodward there. Difficult to see from our commentary position. We don't have the benefit of any replays, but to the naked eye, it looks like Hunslet have been harshly denied a try.
I think so. There, it was a bit of a pinball, but also it's a real warning to Bradford that, you know what, the conditions played a part in what happened there. Hunslet took full advantage of them, but to me, we just got to get back on the bike a bit here and calm things down. Don't need to score off every play. We're in front already. Just keep playing, going through the processes. That's all we've got to do.
Well, Bradford have come up with error number 6. Jordan Andrade and George Flanagan just coming on the field. And Jordan Andrade, 26 years of age. Savannah Andrade, his sister, plays for the Bradford Bulls women, and he come up with the error there. So 6th error, and Hunslet once again keeping Bradford now penned deep inside their own half. We've got 8.5 minutes remaining. It's Bulls Live, proper sport, and it's Hunslet 0, Bradford 14, and Hunslet what they give for a try just before half-time. Gary Thornton's side, though, they're not rolling over, and that is Jack Coventry wearing 19, who's brought down 30 out from the Bradford line. A bit of a flat pass there out of dummy half from Dan Hallamshaw, but the referee plays on, and Hallamshaw is going to find Nicholson, and a big heavy hit there from George Flanagan against his former teammate. George out there, although the gap's opened up for Hunslet on the Maidstone side. Ethan Ryan with a fantastic defensive raid, bringing down the second row forward, Jack Walton. It's the last tackle. Southernwood once again behind the Bradford Bulls defensive line. Referee Nick Woodward says it was a clean take, and Brandon Pickersgill saves the Bulls bacon on that occasion. It goes out now to Gibson. Gibson's brought down 20 out from his own try line. We've got 7 minutes remaining here as Liam Johnson goes on a run down that right-hand edge, 15 shy of halfway. Rickett out of dummy half. One-man band brought down there by Hallamshaw and Nicholson. Fourth tackle gone for the Bulls. Flanagan to Andrade. Andrade's brought down up and over halfway. And Jordan Andrade's come up with a second error, and he pleads to the referee on his knees, saying, "Come on, sir, there was 2 in the tackle." Referee Nick Woodward says, "Nope, it's another error," and it's a 7th error of the afternoon for the Bradford Bulls. So after all the excitement and early endeavour from tries from Matt Garside and Ethan Ryan, John, Hunslet steadying the ship.
Yeah, they are, but also, to me, Bradford are trying to play a bit too much and a bit too quickly. The objective today is to come here and get a result and get a 5th round tie away to a Super League team, but we've just gone off the ball from what we were doing earlier, haven't we? Obviously, like, the conditions are not helping, but take your time and go through the processes. That's what John's instructions will have been.
Bradford have given away their 3rd penalty of the afternoon. 2 tackles in to this latest Hunslet set of 6, and it's George Flanagan that has gone high. It's just getting a little bit fiery out there. 7 penalties blown by the Warrington official, who just talks to George Flanagan on the run and says, "Don't be silly, George. You're 14-0 up." So Sanderson finds touch for Hunslet. 25 out from the Bradford line. They're going to go attacking down this Maidstone side, and that is Jack Walton wearing 21, brought down there in a 2-man tackle by Dane Chisholm and Garside. Hallamshaw across the face of the Bulls post on that right edge, and Hunslet find themselves 2 tackles in, 20 away from the Bradford line. Coventry brought down there in a big tackle from Jordan Andrade. It goes to Southernwood. Southernwood to Walton, and the ball squeezes out. And now Walton pushes and shoves Dane Chisholm in back play. It's getting a little bit fiery, although the Bulls have now dropped the ball. 10 out from their own line. They've lost a little bit of concentration. Composure lacking a little bit. And Hunslet have another full set of 6. It goes out there from Sanderson to Coventry. Coventry brought down by Ash Gibson. Ball and all, and Gibson on point again. Gibson doing a lot of defensive work over on that left-hand edge. 2 tackles gone. Hunslet trailing 14-0. Lee gives it down the middle to Nicholson. Nicholson offloads the ball in the tackle, and Hunslet will score. It has been coming. It's 4 points to 14. Game back on here at the South Leeds Stadium. The Parksiders showing life, and it is number 38, Daniel Hallamshaw, on debut, Steve.
Daniel Hallamshaw, yeah, the young ex-West Bowling player. Actually played with his dad, Nigel Hallamshaw. I think Bulls have kind of last 10 minutes just need to calm down and relax. And I think Hunslet have raised the game as well. So it's just before half time. You've just got this 5-minute spell now where Hunslet have to raise the game and complete the sets. I think they're playing towards conditions, and I think first 25 minutes Bulls were phenomenal, but now they seem to have come down and playing just basics. It's just controlling the game.
I've got to say, John, as Joe Sanderson lines up this conversion attempt. The body language of John Keir down below us. He's right at the edge of his technical area. He looks absolutely as filthy as these conditions here, with Bradford allowing themselves to be drawn into the grubby, the nitty-gritty pushing and shoving match with Hunslet. We'll just call the conversion. Joe Sanderson to narrow the gap to 8. He does. And it is Hunslet 6, Bradford Bulls 14. Bulls Live, proper sport. But just going back to my earlier point, John Keir will not be happy, although be it we've got 3 minutes to go to half-time.
I think as Stephen said, Bradford came out of the blocks at 100 miles an hour, rattled 14 points on, and Hunslet have worked their way back into this game. And we know from only a couple of weeks ago, these games are not easy. Hunslet are a good side, and Bradford need to calm down a bit now, get to half-time, go back in, listen to what John's got to say, and then come out again fresh second half.
On the restart from Greg McNally, he looks to have pulled his right thigh, and Greg McNally now is in a lot of discomfort on the halfway line. He's just limping in back play. On will come the Bulls physio. As we said, difficult, treacherous conditions out here in the mud and the sludge at the South Leeds Stadium. Credit to all these warriors playing and contributing to a cup classic. Out of dummy half, it's the try scorer, Hallamshaw's. Stephen said, a former West Bowling amateur, Bradford born. He'll enjoy that one against the city he resides from. And Hunslet making meters on that left-hand edge, the 5 shy of halfway, with 2 minutes remaining in the first half as it goes from Sanderson to Southernwood. Southernwood is going to give it to Reid, and Reid is going to be brought down on the 5th and last tackle on the halfway line. It's going to go out to Southernwood. Southernwood goes for the power play move. Here come Hunslet down the main stand side. Pass on the inside to Jordan Gill. Gill was looking for the support of Southernwood on the inside, and Brandon Pickersgill has saved a try. It is Hunslet 6, Bradford 14.
Yeah, Brandon came back there, looked like it was a forward pass, but as Stephen is saying, Bulls need it to become half-time. We've just lost Greg to an injury, but also the pace of the game. Use the conditions, which what Hunslet have done, and come back into this game in the last 15 minutes.
Final minute here. 60 seconds on the clock. Jordan Andrade up to the Bradford 40. It's almost getting difficult to make out who the players are. It goes now from Pickersgill at dummy half to Vila Halafihi, who's lost the ball in a heavy collision. And Vila Halafihi gets up and he'll race into the Bulls' defensive line. 45 seconds remaining. Hunslet, they've got another set of 6 inside the Bulls' half. John Keir wants half-time so he can get the players and try and regroup. Here goes Jack Blackburn down this right-hand edge. There's options. Good attacking depth here from Hunslet. The pitch really cutting up as Sanderson goes probing to Watson. Watson out wide. It's found with Walker. Walker's brought down in a 2-man tackle by Rickett and Gibson on that left-hand edge. Hunslet inside the Bradford 20 as Sanderson goes direct down the middle with Matt Nicholson. Nicholson's brought down on tackle number 4. We've got 30 seconds remaining on our stopwatch. Crossfield kick from Southernwood. Looking for Watson. It goes through Watson's fingers. The chance has gone begging. It's Hunslet 6, Bradford Bulls 14, and the touch judges come on the field. Stephen's saying that someone's delayed the restart. Nick Woodward's gone to the back pocket. It's going to be a yellow card, and he's going to send Hunslet, second row forward, Jack Walton off for 10 minutes in the bin. Stephen, what happened there?
I don't know myself. That's God's honest truth.
John Keys?
Well, it looked like it. I mean, if it had caught the ball, it'd have scored a try without any shadow of a doubt. And I think that we went off to make a quick restart, and he's either interfered with the ball or said something. But to be honest, just what Hunslet didn't need at this time of the game. You know, really come back into it, and now Bradford against 12 men for 10 minutes.
Well, we'll try find out at half-time, but just looking at the body language of Jack Walton, who takes his place on the Hunslet interchange bench there, he looks a bit bemused and perplexed why he's been sent for 10 minutes. We'll try and get confirmation from the match commissioner to try and keep the listeners and viewers informed. But Bradford up and over halfway on the 4th tackle. out of dummy half from Flanagan. George Flanagan against his former teammates. He's wrapped up on the Hunslet 30 as the half-time hooter sounds. It would have been the last tackle anyway, but it has been an eventful first half. This Ladbrokes Challenge Cup 4th round tie, it's looking like it could go all the way. It is only Bradford Bulls 14, Hunslet 6. John Keir's side back with second half commentary after this. Did we find out why he was sent off?
I don't think they know, to be honest.
To be fair, I didn't see it. It's very rare that I don't see out on the rugby field, but I was immediately watching for the play the ball on the 10.
Delayed and restart, throwing the ball away.
Well, welcome back to Proper Sport and Bulls Live. Calling the game this afternoon, myself, Mick Gleddle, John Keys, and Hunslet legend of 11 years, Steve Price. And we're back underway. It's almost akin to the 1968 Challenge Cup Water Splash final at Wembley between Leeds and Wakefield. So far, we've not had a Don Fox moment. Hopefully, for the players' sake, it doesn't come to such an agonising miss, but never say never in the Challenge Cup and its proud, rich history. And as we've already said, Hunslet Challenge Cup wins in 1908 and 1934, 5-time winners, the Bradford Bulls. They started their cup run in 1944. They then won it again in 47, and they won it against Halifax in 49. And let's not forget the summer era, those wins in 2000 at Murrayfield and 2003 against the old enemy Leeds in Cardiff. So, Hunslet have had a full set of 6, and they've kicked deep inside the Bradford 20. Flanagan along the line to Chisholm, and Chisholm is going to give it to Garside on that left-hand edge, and he is brought down 30 out from the halfway line. They're over on the far stand side. They're just going to come down this left-hand edge once again. Hunslet, again, not really doing a foot wrong, and a chance at half-time for John Keir to just calm things down and refocus his troops as Dane Chisholm looks for the 40-20, and Dane Chisholm has got a 40-20. That come out of the blue, just like his try on Good Friday, and referee Nick Woodward is going to say it is a 40-20. It's the first 40-20 of the John Keir era, and what a time for Dane Chisholm to strike gold. Pickersgill has to tap it on the right fang, and he's going to give it to Andrade. And Andrade is going to be brought down too shy of the Hunslet line. Flanagan in there at dummy half. Gives it now to Chisholm. Chisholm to Vila Halafihi. Vila Halafihi's going to be wrapped up a metre shy, and some early pressure here with 2 minutes gone of the second half. Bradford putting pressure on the Hunslet line, and Steve Crossley is gone without the ball. And once again, strong, stern defence from Hunslet keeps the Bull at bay, and it is Hunslet 6, Bradford Bulls 14. Proper Sport and Bulls Live.
Well, if I'm honest, great defence from Hunslet there. I think a great 40-20 quick kick first of all from Dane, but I think Bradford are just trying a bit too hard. Just go through the process. I know we're close to the line, but also there's a few times first and second half, and particularly our first set there in the second half, we can spread the ball a bit. If you look at the field, look at the state of it down the middle, because no one's spreading the ball around.
Hunslet win the first penalty of the afternoon, and there's some silly stuff there because the ball's been thrown at the back of Matt Garside's head. The touch judge on the far side has come back on the field, and it's a penalty to Hunslet. Vila Halafi is being talked to by referee Woodward for trapping the arm. The referee's going to stop the clock and he's going to ask Steve Crossley and Jack Lee to come to him, the two skippers, because it was firing up just before half-time and it started just after half-time. So the referee trying to stamp his authority early doors. The 9th penalty of this match, and it is 5-4 now in favour of Hunslet, and a penalty awarded 20 out from their own try line. Southernwood finds touch, 15 shy of halfway. Hunslet trailing 14 points to 6. Nicholson on tackle number 1, brought down there by Flanagan and Halafihi. They're up and over halfway now as Matt Nicholson carries it in on that right-hand edge, waiting 13. Hallamshaw down the middle, attacking Crossley and Halafihi again. Halafihi and Crossley, they made 3 tackles together in a row. And Crossley is hunting tackle number 4, but Flanagan comes in and gives him a breather. Hunslet just shy of the Bulls 20. Right of centre field. Lateral ball from Sanderson. Sanderson to Coventry, and the referee has given Hunslet a 6th penalty, and Gary Thornton's going to say, on comes the kicking tee. We're going to lock this one up potentially to a 6-point ball game. Batten down the hatches. This one's got the distance, and it is right in front, 20 metres out, and a man of Joe Sanderson's kicking qualities will fancy his chances. Steve Price, great start from Hunslet.
Fantastic start as well. I think Gary's expecting to get the penalty, 2 points, then it's going to be 14-8 games on again. Realistically, I think Bulls have started off really slow again, and I think Hunslet are up for the game. When realistically, Bulls should go back to basics of how they played the first half and just play the nice sets out and everything. But realistically, Hunslet, they want the win.
Sometimes simple, effective rugby league is the best course of action, John Keys. We saw that in that first half on Good Friday against Oldham.
Well, interesting. Hunslet got a penalty on their 20. We're now on our 20 on Bradford's 20, taking a kick at goal with 12 men on the field. So it tells you a bit about their mindset for the second half, which is great. So when it goes back to 13 against 13, it's going to be interesting.
Joe Sanderson then from right bang in front. It is straight as a die, and it is Hunslet 8, Bradford Bulls 14. It's a 6-point ball game. Bulls Live, proper sport. Dane Chisholm will line up the ball on the restart. It's got to be said, John, Bradford need to get rid of these bad habits thick and fast.
Yeah, absolutely. And just again, Hunslet are playing the conditions and the referee really well here. But the fact they've only got 12 men is amazing, isn't it? And just march Bradford back up the field. But I just think we just got to get our heads back on here and start playing the football we were playing in the first 20 minutes.
Dane Chisholm's restart taken by Southernwood. 5 out from his own try line, and he's going to give it there to Jack Coventry. And Coventry still going forward. Andrade and Johnson, the 2 Bulls defenders, and Minchella comes in with Johnson on tackle number 2. Niall Walker to his feet. Hallamshaw down the middle with Nicholson, and Nicholson's brought down on the 3rd on the halfway line, centre of the field. They're going to move the ball with Josh Jordan Roberts down this left-hand edge. Tackle number 4, he's lost the shorts there. Josh Jordan Roberts before another attacking raid down this middle channel, and that is Michael Haley. Kick comes early in the count on tackle number 4 from Southernwood. The ball hits a puddle, ricochets off a Hunslet player, and the referee's going to say 0 tackle, and Bradford have the ball. He's now going to get a call from the touch judge on this main stand side. Difficult to hear anyone think. And he's going to say first knock on was by Hunslet, and Bradford will play the ball 20 out from their own try line. We've had exactly 46 minutes gone on the clock here. 34 minutes remain. Which of these 2 West Yorkshire sides will be booking a place in the 5th round and looking to take on Steve Price's Warrington Wolves at the Halliwell Jones on Saturday the 21st of April. Bradford are going to have to do it tough. Flanagan out of dummy half to Chisholm. Chisholm goes behind Ross Oakes. Dangerous stuff from Chisholm, and Chisholm just stays in the field of play. A metre in on that far stand side. 5 inside the Hunslet half. Matt Garside will calm things down with an attacking raid on the diagonal. Quick play the ball from Flanagan. Flanagan to Crossley. Crossley to Pickersgill. Pickersgill 1, 2, 3 defenders bring down young Brandon. Last tackle, 30 metres out. They go to the air via Chisholm. Chisholm putting Watson, the Hunslet fullback, under pressure, and that has hit the crossbar and gone dead in goal. A rugby league rarity these days, John Keys. Tap on the 20 for Hunslet. They still trail 14 points to 8, but with every increasing second and minute, they're growing in confidence and stature.
Sinfield's tried to do that 3 years in a row at the Challenge Cup final and win some money, but he hasn't managed to do it. But again, for me, that kick should go on the floor in the in-goal area and box Hunslet back in. But Hunslet here, for me, seems to be gathering some momentum in this game.
Well, the romance of the Challenge Cup, a wet, cold, dreary mud bath of an afternoon, and the smell of hot dogs and onions in the air. It is Hunslet 8, Bradford 14, and Hunslet, they're inside the Bradford 10 now with Nicholson. Nicholson still going forward. The referee will stop the clock because the Bradford player have a player down interfering with play. It is another one of those head injuries, and it is Liam Johnson. He rolls on his back, and referee Nick Woodward is going to allow everyone a well-earned breather. 49 minutes gone. Bulls live with proper sport, and Hunslet are about to go up to 13 men. So while they've been down to 12, they've added an extra 2 on the field. And I beg your pardon, it is going to be Will Cook coming on wearing 28. It wasn't Jack Walton. Apologies to Jack Walton if you're watching this back on the Proper Sport Bulls Live feed. Difficult to make out some of the numbers. The mud, not a commentator's best friend. So Liam Johnson gets back in the Bulls defensive line. It is the last play. Sanderson keeps it going to Josh Jordan Roberts, and it was the power play. The kick didn't come in from Hunslet, and Roberts will be brought down by Crossley and Minchella. 5 out from the Bulls try line. Hunslet 8, Bradford 14, Proper Sport and Bulls Live. And the Bradford Bulls have got a mountain of work to do to get through this Challenge Cup tie. Difficult navigation in the conditions. Flanagan though to Chisholm. Chisholm to Oakes on the far stand side. The pass was nearly picked off there by Will Cook, who's just come on the field. So 13 against 13. The floodlights blazing down here at Southlead Stadium as Bradford are saying a Hunslet arm has palmed the ball forward, but the referee disagrees and he's going to say it is a scrum. Head and feed to Hunslet. Steve Price, you must be happy with this Hunslet performance.
Yeah, it's a fantastic performance. Suddenly Hunslet have just raised the level. They are up for the game. They're all excited. Everybody's playing. The playing's just so simple, basic rugby league. Bradford have just gone back. They've gone back, and I think they're just playing so well and just keeping tight, controlling the ball, taking the ball in, and the hookers, the halfbacks are playing really well.
From the scrum, Hunslet, another opportunity to potentially narrow the gap. It's another penalty though to the Hunslet side. He's going to penalise Matt Garside and Vila Halafihi for reefing the ball out. 2 in. The tackle, says referee Nick Woodward. It is a 7th penalty of the afternoon to Gary Thornton's side, and anything Bradford can do, Hunslet can do as well. Gary Thornton showing a lot of respect to this Bradford Bulls side, and he knows points, as we said, John, at a premium. This to narrow the gap further. 14-8 potentially, 14-10.
Yeah, and he similar tactics to what John does, but in the conditions, the try opportunities are few and far between. And for me, he's adopting the right tactic. And as I said a couple of minutes ago, Hunslet were having a real dig with 12 blokes. So now they're back to 13. I think the rest of the game's going to be really close, but also interesting that the styles that the teams are adopting. It's a wall of attrition up the middle. I'm not sure why we don't spread the ball a bit wider where there's a bit of grass and start running at a few people.
Joe Sanderson, all the pressure of Hunslet on his young shoulders. Slips, but it just goes over the Black Dogs. 14 points to 10. It is going all the way. It's going the distance, potentially. Hunslet 10, Bradford 14. Proper sport and Bulls Live. Well, it might not be a game for the expansionists. It is old school, it is traditional, it is rugby league of the vintage era, and Chisholm gets the restart. Up, up, up and away. It's taken by the young winger, Joel Gibson, and Gibson's lost the ball in the tackle. Mikey Wood with a huge hit, and a chance for the Bulls immediately to potentially get a try. Hunslet with only their 7th error in this match. Bradford, incidentally, have made 13. That won't please John Keir. But as we said, mitigating factors, difficult, troubling conditions. Minchella has ball in hand. Flanagan at the base of the scrum. Referee stops the clock momentarily. As you can see, players packing it down. The steam coming off their breaths. Flanagan to Chisholm. Chisholm to Garside. Garside, his first try of the season this afternoon. Can he get another? He's brought down 8 shy of the line. Here goes Ross Peltier, who's back on the field for Jordan Andrade. And Peltier is brought down 10 metres to the left-hand side of the uprights. Flanagan to Chisholm. Chisholm, bullet pass from Minchella to Johnson! Liam Johnson! Swan dives underneath the sticks! The Bulls have a 3rd try! And it's come at a crucial, pivotal moment! Hunslet had just narrowed the gap to 4 points. Liam Johnson on loan from the Huddersfield Giants, his 5th try of the season in Bradford colours, and he's going to say the Bulls bounce back. 14 points to 10, turns into 18-10. John Keys.
Well, interesting, I'm just talking to Stephen there when the scrum was awarded, that actually what Bradford didn't do was, they didn't rush anything there. Had a couple of plays, waited for the chance and then put a play on, and Liam walked over. And I think that's what we've got to get back to. Don't keep trying to force things all the time. Loads of time left, a couple of substitutions left in the back pocket. Just play rugby league, but play it simply. Don't try and do too much.
Dane Chisholm, just one miss this afternoon, and that was with a 21st minute penalty attempt in the first half. 3 from 4 attempts. He converted an absolute pearler from the touchline on Good Friday. And in the absence of Joe Keys, Dane Chisholm showing that he's back to his prodigious best. From in front to give the Bulls an extra 2. Could be crucial in 27 minutes time, because that's how many minutes remain. Proper Sport Bulls Live, Hunslet 10, Bradford Bulls 20.
Yeah, I mean, I think we needed that score to settle everything back down. It'd be interesting to see what we do now in this next set of 6. But my big shout today is at Hunslet, because I think they're 14-0 down in 15 minutes and game was gone. But look at the courage and the persistence they've shown. Gary's obviously given them a fair bit of inspiration there at half-time, and they've come out fighting. So it'll be interesting for me now. How long have we got? 23 minutes to go? No, I don't think it's over yet.
Well, our stopwatch just ahead of the official time, but we're in the final 26 minutes, approaching the hour mark. Chisholm on the restart finds Peltier, and Peltier is going to be brought down in a 3-man tackle, and he's had the ball pinched. 3-on-1, and it's now Hunslet's turn to lose a bit of the discipline. Bradford awarded their 5th penalty of the afternoon, the count 7-5 against John Keir's side, but that is a relieving penalty, because it's going to allow Chisholm to find touch just on the halfway line, and Bradford a full set of 6 inside the Hunslet half. Ross Oakes brought down 10 metres inside the Hunslet half. And it's worth mentioning Ross Oakes, Josh Rickett, Brandon Pickersgill, Liam Kirk, Vila Halafihi. They've been playing for the Bradford Bulls reserve side, and they all featured in that 18-14 victory at Dudley Hill against Wigan. And Brandon Pickersgill, bit of miscommunication there between Dane Chisholm and himself. He has to race back and he will drop on the ball. So the Bulls have lost a little bit of momentum here. The 30 out from the Hunslet line. 2 tackles remaining, but the lead restored to double figures. 20 points to 10 as it goes from Crossley to Minchella. Minchella to Johnson, and Johnson now takes a lazy arm across the face, and John Keir is up out of the dugout, 2 fingers in the air. The kicking tee will come on again. As we said, points at a premium. Stephen Price, it's almost like Jekyll and Hyde. It's almost like Hunslet have adopted Bradford's bad attitudes.
Yeah, I think Bulls now have come out maybe the first 10 minutes and they're playing really well, taking the ball up really well, strong and hard, and just playing simple, basic rugby without trying to force the pass. They're doing really well, but can they keep that momentum going? That's the thing about Bradford, is keep going. There's 20 minutes, 25 minutes to go, and I think Hunslet have still got plenty of petrol left in the tank, but I think Bradford have as well. So it's just playing the basic rugby, and that's realistically what I think.
Steve says Hunslet have still got petrol in the tank. Jane Chisholm makes no mistake from in front, 20 metres out, and it is Hunslet 10, Bradford Bulls 22 in this Ladbrokes Challenge Cup 4th round tower at a vibrant South Leeds Stadium. A lot of atmosphere here in the main stand. Hunslet now have to chase the game. 22 minutes remain. Minchella to Peltier. Peltier down the middle. Here goes Ross Peltier. Brought down 18 shy of halfway. 2-man tackle. Flanagan out of dummy half to Crossley, and Crossley's brought down there by Jack Walton and Lewis Reed in a 2-man tackle. Second tackle gone for the Bulls as it goes to Mikey Wood, and Wood's going to be brought down on that left-hand edge. Quick play the ball, Flanagan in at dummy half, and Flanagan looks for gaps. Here goes George Flanagan! George Flanagan! Inside support from Elliot Minchella! Elliot Minchella! Try number 9 of the season! And the Bulls potentially booking the place in the 5th round, and that tie against the Warrington Wolves, 26 points to 10, and George Flanagan coming back to haunt his former club.
Yeah, very good again from George. He has a massive impact every time he comes on the field. Elliot Minchella seems to be on a try scoring streak at the moment, doesn't he? But I think that might be put to bed now, to be honest, for Hunslet. Bradford seemed to come out second half, and I think they probably had a rocket off of John, to be honest, and they've really come back and started playing some decent rugby now in the last 10-15 minutes.
John, you'll be able to describe what Chris Minchella's going through. We heard from Chris Minchella at half-time for those listening online on Bulls Live on Mixlr and tune in on the apps, which of course you can download in Android and iOS format. But you've seen, you know, you're a rugby league dad. When Joe Keys scores a try, when he kicks the goals, what must Chris Minchella be feeling?
Well, I think it's that. I don't think you can describe it unless you're a parent and it happens to you. You can't describe that feeling. You know, it's funny. Whenever Joseph takes a kick, I'm panicking. When he scores a try, I feel great. But to see your own lad out there doing playing a game that we love, it's amazing. And I mean, Chris has obviously just had another great experience here as Elliot goes over and gets another 4 points.
Dane Chisholm makes no mistake. Just one miss all afternoon in difficult goal-kicking conditions, and it is now Hunslet 10, Bradford Bulls 28, and we've just hit the hour mark here at the South Leeds Stadium, and in the blink of an eye, Steve Price, the game has gone away from Hunslet.
Yeah, I think now it's going to see now maybe in the next 20 minutes how Bradford perform and how Hunslet perform. I think now Bradford will, the first 20 minutes were fantastic, awesome. Can they come back and continue the way they play, or can Hunslet just go to sleep and just expect they've done the hard work, blah blah blah, we've done really well, blah blah blah. But I think there's still plenty to go. I think they've played really well. Both teams, been an exciting game. Bradford have played really well. Hunslet have been outstanding. And I think it's just great for rugby league as well.
Great rugby league in difficult conditions. Matt Garside over on the far side on the restart for the Bradford Bulls, 5 shy of the halfway line. And it's going to go from Flanagan, who was the chief architect, the creator in that 9th try of the season for Elliot Minchella. In at dummy half now, it's going to go back to Chisholm. Chisholm's kicking early. Josh Rickett bearing it in on James Watson. Josh Rickett looking for the goal line dropout. Risky stuff from Hunslet, but they get away. And the winger Jordan Gill is going to be brought down there by Liam Johnson in a 2-man tackle. So Hunslet, they've been turned around by the quick thinking and delicate boot of Dane Chisholm. Out of dummy half, along the line, Jack Lee, Joel Gibson, who opened the scoring, incidentally, at Odsall when Hunslet took an early 6-0 lead 8 days ago. Daniel Hallamshaw, out of dummy half. He's going to give it to Jack Coventry. Coventry's wrapped up on tackle number 4, 15 shy of halfway. Here goes Lewis Reed down the middle channel. This will be the 5th and last tackle. Hunslet have made 40 metres on the return. They're up to halfway. The kick's going to come in from Kane Southernwood. Got his debut under Steve McNamara. And Ethan Ryan, a leap of faith. He takes that from the ugly grey clouds. And he's brought down 25 out. And he's got mud on the face, mud on the hands, mud on the palms. And he's going to go into dummy half now. And he's going to look and find Matt Garside down that left-hand edge, but he's going to be greedy, is Ethan, and he's going to take tackle number 2 himself. 5 shy of halfway. Here goes Steve Crossley leaving the field to a standing ovation. Liam Kirk comes back out. We've got 17 minutes remaining. Bradford have a lead of 18. Pickers go along the line to Peltier. Peltier looks for options. On the line he goes to Johnson. Johnson to Gibson. Gibson has Ricketts out Ryan. He couldn't get ball to Ricketts. He was wrapped up on the last tackle though. 15 out from the Hunslet line on the main stand side. A la kick Aussie rules from Dane Chisholm. It's been knocked on by Hunslet, but the referee says it's gone backwards. The touch judge about to come on again, but he stands his ground, and Hunslet live to fight another day. Hunslet 10, Bradford Bulls 28. John Keys, could Gibbo have got the ball out the back door to the support of Ricketts, who, if he'd have took the pass, he'd have gone in at the corner?
I think he was running out of room, to be honest. They slid across, didn't they, and closed the space down. But I do think we need to do a bit more of that now that, as I said, the middle of the pitch looks like a mud bath. So I think if we start spreading the ball around a bit, you've got to give it to Hunslet though, mate. They keep coming back all the time, and I think the grit and determination they've got has actually added to the game in this second half.
It's certainly been a contest, not one-way traffic by any imagination. Hunslet on the last tackle. They move the ball out wide. The grubber kick comes in behind the line from Joel Gibson. He chases it up, but Ethan Ryan is the first to react. Tackle 1. Bulls have a fresh set of 6, 15 shy of halfway. Pickersgill is going to take the ball in on tackle number 2. Flanagan in at dummy half. As the tackles continue to rain down here, as Ross Oakes is wrapped up ball and all over on that left-hand edge, and he's come up with an error. So, scrum, head and feed to Hunslet. We have 14 minutes remaining. They've got to battle the scoreboard, they've got to battle the clock, they've got to battle the conditions, and more importantly, they've now got to battle a ferocious Bradford pack that have suddenly waked up after a bit of a lull either side of halfway. Kane Southernwood, ball in hand, and once again, the steam coming off the players' breaths. A throwback to rugby league of yesteryear. Sanderson wrapped up, tackle number 1. Minchella, Johnson in defence, and Minchella and Johnson, it was their 2-man tackle. They've put the squeeze on Joel Gibson, Stephen, and it is another Hunslet error. And Hunslet really played into Bradford's hands now, it must be said.
Yeah, I think just like little basic errors and mistakes, the tiredness is coming out of Hunslet now, and I think the willness is out of the Bradford Bulls team. They're playing really, really well now at this moment in time, but it's containing and being 100% all the time for the next 16, 17 minutes, which I think Bradford could realistically do it. But they've got to play like this Warrington game, then they have to play consistently for 80 minutes which is sometimes hard to do against a top Super League team.
Bradford from the scrum. They're over on the left-hand edge via Matt Garside. Gets to his feet, plays the ball. Here goes Kirk. Changes shirt after half-time. That 8 is blazing my eyes. I might have to put sunglasses on. Quick play the ball. Goes from Flanagan. It goes to Peltier. Peltier down the middle. Wrapped up in a 2-man tackle. Appealing for a penalty. Non forthcoming. Flanagan. Chisholm. Chisholm for Ricketts. Ricketts, can he get the bounce? Josh Ricketts! Sparkling rugby league football. It is another one for the highlights reel. 32 points to 10. The scintillating Bulls are going to Warrington. Book the tickets now. John Keys.
Yeah, class again from Dane, a bit like Friday night's chip to Dalton. Nice bounce up for Josh here. Got to be in the right place at the right time to put the ball down. Bradford are now obviously breaking away here from Hunslet. But I just think that what's really interesting for me is, so we lost Keys on Friday and Grant on Friday. Ricketts comes in, 3 or 4 other lads come in. Pickers starts the game at half-back. We get an injury to Greg and Pickers goes to full-back and Elliott goes to half-back. We've not had that for a couple of years, have we? We've been filling in and doing what we're doing, but now we've got 25 blokes that can play. And to me, that's what makes a big difference to the Bradford team this year.
Well, the John Keir era continues to gather unprecedented, unstoppable, immovable momentum, and what a challenge his Bradford Bulls side will face on Saturday the 21st of April, a 3 o'clock kickoff at the Halliwell Jones. It will be Warrington Wolves against the Bradford Bulls. 11 minutes remaining on the clock here. It's going to take something pretty special for Hunslet to get back in this game. Never say never, but as I said, Bradford leading by 22 points at 32-10. And Dane Chisholm, man of the moment, the chief orchestrator again, will attempt it with the right boot. It's looking on point. That one is a star. And that will take the Bulls out to 34. Hunslet 10, Bradford Bulls 34. I would say, John Keys, it is looking like game over. Kane Southernwood on the halfway line, about to get the restart underway. It is Bulls Live with proper sport. And Hunslet, they go for a short one. Palmed back by George Flanagan. Hunslet, they've got the ball back from the kick-off, although the referee says there's been a knock-on, and he's going to pack the scrum down, although he needs advice from the touch judge on the far stand side. And the touch judge coming on, the communication obviously not working this afternoon, and the touch judge is going to say it is head and feed to Hunslet. Well, he's not even going to give the scrum. He blew the whistle prematurely there, Nick Woodward. So people might be saying commentators cursed. Well, for those listening and watching of a Hunslet disposition, hopefully Hunslet do cross the line and make a game of it in the final 10. It goes out to Southernwood. Southernwood's going to find Watson. Watson steps off the right and the left, and he's brought down. 5 out from the Bradford line. 15 to the right of the post. Across the face of the post they go. Lateral movement before Lewis Reed, the former Bradford Academy product, is wrapped up in a 3-man tackle, led there by George Flanagan and Ross Peltier. 2 tackles remaining for Hunslet. Southernwood along the line to Sanderson. Sanderson, a flat-looking pass to Jordan Robertson. Jordan Roberts, the Leeds Rhinos youngster, has lost a little bit of ground and he's pushed back outside the 10. Last tackle for Hunslet, now or never. Sanderson's kick straight in to the breadbasket of Liam Kirk. And he'll put the loaf away, and he'll protect it, and he'll lead it another day. Out of dummy half from Flanagan again. It is Hunslet 10, Bradford 34. Moving the ball on that far stand side as it goes with Matt Garside, who really hasn't put a foot wrong this afternoon. A workmanlike performance from Matt Garside. You get what it says on the tin. Out of dummy half to Chisholm. Quick play the ball. Bradford looking to unlock this Hunslet defence. Hunslet 10, Bradford 34. Last tackle now for the Bulls. Elliot Mitchell in at dummy half, fires it back to Chisholm. And Chisholm goes between James Watson and Niall Walker. Picked up by Watson. Watson brought down by the two giant low knees, Wood and Johnson. And the clock says 7.5 minutes remaining. Sanderson at dummy half for Hunslet. Directing down the middle. To be fair to Hunslet, they've not waved the white flag, and they've certainly caused problems for Bradford this afternoon. And despite what will be a third defeat on the bounce for Gary Thornton's side, they'll still be in the mix come the end of the season in those top 5 playoff places. Last tackle, 5 inside the Bulls half, with Southernwood on that right-hand edge. They go for the power play. They step back in with Walker, and Walker's going to be brought down on that far stand side by 4 Bulls defenders. John Keys, how do you summate this Bradford Bulls performance this afternoon?
I think they've done really well. The conditions obviously been very difficult. I think they lost away for about 20 minutes in the last 20 minutes of the first half. As I said, probably some stiff words from John, come back out and done really well. Been some standout performers. But I think what's interesting is that they've stuck to the task in the second half, and so have Hunslet, to be honest. This hasn't been an easy game. And I think with a few different decisions, it could have been, there was a try disallowed in the first half for Hunslet, which would have brought them right back into it, but done a job, and I think that's what today was about, doing a job.
Chisholm's going to kick early again from the halfway line, looking for Josh Ricketts, but this time Niall Walker reacted the quickest and he averted the danger. But Dane Chisholm's quick thinking, once again, finding the holes out wide, exposing this fragile Hunslet defence, has turned Hunslet and Gary Thornton's side around deep inside their own half. And you've got Liam Kirk and Vila Halafihi out there working in unison as the A and B defenders, like heat-seeking projectile missiles. Hunslet not getting any momentum going forward. Although they're up to tackle number 4 on their own 30-metre line as it goes from Southernwood. Southernwood to Jordan Roberts, and Roberts is brought down 5 shy of halfway on the 5th and last tackle. Here goes Southernwood. Southernwood on the power play, kicks forward, comes off Gibson's boot. It's almost calamity rugby league, and it's picked up there by Walker. Walker's brought down on the Bradford 20. The ball stuck in the mud there, and it was almost like a game of football. Bradford, though, survived the danger. It's raised a few chuckles from the supporters below our commentary position, and with 5 minutes remaining, the scoreboard still says Hunslet 10, Bradford Bulls 34. John Keys.
Yeah, a bit Keystone Cops there, eh? Ross is just coming off to a great round of applause. I think, as I said, it's been a real good performance, but losing that focus to 20 minutes in league games, I think, could probably cost you. But again, they've come out on top, 24 points in front with 5 minutes to go. I think it's been a real good performance. If you're interested in, I think, the man of the match is. I think it'd be easy if I give it to Dane, but Dane's done today what I'd expect him to do. My man of the match today is going to be Matt Garside.
John Keys giving the Proper Sport Bulls Live man of the match to number 11, Matt Garside. We'll get the thoughts of Matt Garside on Bradford Bulls Facebook Live at full time. We'll also get the thoughts of head coach John Keir. So, there was just a bit of a little injury concern to Joel Gibson, but play is back underway, and the oohs and ahs are going to tell you that Hunslet have gone high via Michael Haley on Liam Johnson, and Liam Johnson, his neck went back there, and that was a bit dangerous in every sense, and the penalty count now is even Stevens at 14, 7 penalties apiece. So 10 penalties less than we had at Odds Along Good Friday with Nick Woodward, and he's going to indicate to Hunslet that it is a high tackle, and the penalties awarded on the Bradford 30. Dane Chisholm finds touch. Or does he find touch? No, he doesn't. Jimmy Watson excellently placed there on the Hunslet 20, and Dane Chisholm there guilty of going for distance over accuracy, and Hunslet, 4 minutes remaining. They'll be really looking to get another try and send their home supporters in this big 4-figure crowd at the South Leeds Stadium home happy. And I think when all's said and done, when we catch up with John Keir and Gary Thornton after the match, I think they'll be relatively pleased that the game did take place today, because it was in doubt right up until an hour before kick-off. Hunslet though, juggling, skills, they're over on the far stand side, 10 out from the Bradford line. Southernwood gives it there to the second row forward, Jack Walton. Walton's held up over the Bulls line, he can't get the ball down. They'll go back to the 10, and Hunslet, as we said, Steve, they're not waving the white flag, they're still going.
Yeah, as I said, you just played to the final whistle goes. Like I said, at Bradford, they've been playing really well, probably just fallen asleep last 2 minutes, and Hunslet are going well, playing well, defending well, but Bradford have just shown their class this second half.
Hunslet on the last tackle then, 10 metres out, an inside pass from Kane Southernwood. It is spilt there by Jordan Roberts, and the chance goes to Bay again. It was the last tackle, it was the power play, and it will be a play the ball for the Bradford Bulls on their own 10-metre line. So, 2 minutes remaining on the clock. Must be said, it is not the official timekeeper's clock, so there will be a minute or so either way, as Josh Rickett, a try on his return to the first team, made his debut last year against Oldham. He scored 6 tries in 2 games for the Bulls reserves against Keighley and Wigan. That is no mean feat, and he really looking to put pressure on both Ethan Ryan and Dalton Grant. For those asking, incidentally, Alex Brown, no longer with the Bradford Bulls. He decided to pursue full-time employment, so Alex Brown leaving the club. Bradford over on the far stand side with Ethan Ryan. Ethan Ryan kicks clear. He's in a foot race. The ball's going to beat everyone though. It just goes dead in goal, and that was a chance out of note. Ethan Ryan, a valiant effort. He gets up a little bit winded because he body slammed down in the in-goal area, and neat footwork there from Ethan Ryan, looking to turn around Jordan Gill and James Watson. The ball, you might have thought it might have held up in the saturated in-goal conditions, but Ethan Ryan just putting a little bit too much onto it. 60 seconds remaining then. Hunslet 10, Bradford Bulls 34. Hunslet down the middle, down that right-hand edge. Good defence though from the Bulls. Kirk and Halafihi in there as the 2 marker defenders. And Kirk comes in again. Great defence, great leadership, though everyone's going to need a bath at full time. Sanderson tries to go through a gap. Last tackle, Hunslet advancing towards the Bradford 20. Southernwood crossfield kick, looking to put pressure on Oakes and Ryan. And Ethan Ryan gets the ball 2 metres from his own in-goal area. And with 30 seconds remaining, this could be the final set of the match. Brandon Pickersgill tried to show and go. A lazy arm there from Matt Nicholson across Pickersgill's face. And it's the 15th penalty, and potentially the final penalty of the game. And it's awarded to the Bulls, 10 out from their own try line. And the referee, well, he's going to stop the clock, John, and he's going to speak to the 2 Hunslet players there. And we're now into added on time. You've also got to, well, yeah, without being too disrespectful, sometimes you've got to laugh at some of the decision making.
Yeah, and he did it Friday night, didn't he? There were 14 penalties before he even spoke to the Oldham side. And again here, there's enough been going on. I think you just need to put your foot down a bit sometimes and go, do you know what? The next person's going off for a rest. And then I think it just settles things down a bit. But it hasn't been that sort of game either, though, has it, really? I think it's been not a bad contest. Bradford have run some points second half, but full credit to Hunslet here and the conditions, given as good as they've got, really.
Bradford's 8th penalty will see them 10 inside the Hunslet half with Mikey Wood. The hooter has sounded full time here on Proper Sport at Bulls Live. It is Hunslet 10, Bradford Bulls 34. And